Anthony on Air podcast, and we're back for another episode brought to you by our good pals over at Hero Soap Company and a whole slew of topics to discuss on this show. Ghislaine Maxwell back in the news, getting very sketchy and shady. This is Maxwell. We'll get into it. The Excelsior Pass introduced, first of its kind in the country, and New York is leading the charge. Can't wait to share that with you. Dr. Oz is getting killed hosting Jeopardy. Cinnamon Shrimp Crunch Guy is back again. It's not good for him. We got to talk about Georgia, the Suez Canal, and finally, Pepsi Peeps.
Pepsi Peeps, baby.
That's going to be a good one there, Frankie C. Frankie C is here with us. J-Sabs might be checking in on the road. She is at a wedding right now. So
yeah,
we could hear from her at any moment.
Good planning. Why don't you just delay your wedding a few months? No offense to whoever's having their wedding now, but in a few months, everybody will be vaccinated. Did it have to be March?
When Janine checks in, I will share why I completely disagree with Frankie C. But let's start with Ghislaine Maxwell. All right, she's back in the news. We are talking about her again, and we're starting, Frank, to get into the shady shenanigans. This is going to be, we're getting into lawyer strategy, right?
As if this wasn't shady already.
Right, exactly. So this is what's going on. Here's the latest. Her lawyers are asking for a whole bunch of stuff from the victims. Okay? This,
like what?
All right, let's go over the list. So they're asking, this law firm, Boyce, Schiller, Flexner, they're the ones that are representing more than five of Epstein's victims, including Annie Farmer and Virginia Roberts Giuffre. They're saying, they released some documents today. They're saying that Maxwell's camp is trying to get these items, which I'll share with you, and there's some pretty unusual requests. Sigrid McCauley, a lawyer for the firm, wrote that Maxwell's proposed subpoena is overbroad and a fishing expedition to obtain victims' personal information to be used to impugn their characters. Among the requested items are the cowboy boots that Maxwell and Epstein purchased for Annie Farmer when she was flown to the New Mexico ranch. They're also seeking the original copy of the now infamous Giuffre Prince Andrew Maxwell photo that we talked about just a couple of podcasts ago. And I think there was one more thing. Maxwell's lawyers
what is getting cowboy boots going to do?
Yeah, Maxwell's lawyers also want all recent communications between the firm and law enforcement about Jean-Luc Brunel, who we talked about. That's the guy who was in Paris, who has a ton of accusations against him. He was a model scout, all this stuff. He's being investigated now for trafficking as well. And they're asking for all the communication between the firm and the authorities regarding him. So there's three things there that, like, you're just asking me, like, why are they asking for this? I don't know. And that's what this lawyer is saying. Like, what is the purpose of you asking for these items other than to impugn the character of these girls that this law firm represents?
Well, if you look at, what is it? A pair of cowboy boots. How does that impugn anybody's character?
I don't know.
The original.
That's a great question.
The original picture of.
What is the
original picture gonna do?
Why do you even need the boots? And how would you even use that?
To show maybe that it was a gift. Who cares? Yeah, but people buy people gifts. Bad people can buy a good person a gift to keep control over them. That, like, they're to keep the shield of I'm a good guy. Because look what I did for you. That doesn't mean you're a good person. It means you're trying to be shady.
It could be that they want to trip her up on a lie or something. Maybe she said something about the boots somewhere, and they can prove that it's not true by, getting the boots. I don't know.
I don't know, but
You know, like it's the kind of thing where,
the
like, if
boots.
you ask, if she said something at a deposition like 3 years ago, and they get her on the stand, and they're like, well, the boots are actually, blah blah blah,
Oh,
and
like I destroyed them. They're but they know they exist or something.
maybe
Anything anything to catch her in any kind of lie.
maybe like you said that Jeffrey accidentally stepped on your toe, but we analyzed it, and there are no scuff marks in that area. Some crazy
It
wacky.
could be the most anything. They're digging. They are reaching for whatever they can get.
Now the other two things make sense though to me because the picture, it sounds like they want it because they want to prove that it's not. They're gonna like analyze it and try and
Oh, that's been
find
tampered with or something. But what?
that it was photoshopped or something. Yeah, that's gonna be their play. This
Okay.
is like trying on the glove in the OJ case. It's like
Yeah,
you don't need to prove that the picture's a fake. All you have to do is put that
put the
shadow of a
doubt.
doubt into the jury's head that somebody
Yeah.
messed with it, and you put a couple of experts on the stand who can attest to, well, this part of the picture is a little off or weird, or we analyze this and this lighting doesn't match up with this other part of her skin's lighting, and the way the lighting hits off of Ghislaine is different from the lighting off of the prince, and blah blah blah. And that's what they're gonna do, and that's what they're gonna do.
That is some shady stuff. I mean, it's not. I mean that they're reaching. Now, I feel like they're looking for every angle. I mean, I guess that's what a good lawyer does, but it reeks of desperation on Ghislaine's part. I mean, what
I
if all of a
disagree
sudden they
with
come up with
I disagree
this
with Frank
stuff?
once again, and I'll tell you why after our Hero Soap Company read. The best soap I've ever had. Frankie C, I actually got some soap coming your way, my friend. Talk to
Cool.
Lucas. We're gonna get you some soap. Your wife called me. She's like, "Can you do me a favor? My husband, you know, he's going sour. We got to do something." I said, "No worries.
Something's got to be done.
We'll get Lucas on it and the folks over at Hero Soap Company. As if he didn't do enough fighting for our country, he's gonna come back in and save Frankie C's marriage, which is really really nice. Very very cool.
That's asking a lot of a soap,
Yeah.
but we'll see how it
I
works
think
out.
the soap can handle it. I think Hero Soap Company can handle. I don't even want to get into what Janine's husband told me. When he requested the soap, it was far worse than what your wife said. But anyway, we're all getting soap, which is great. You guys should go get your own soap. I don't use anything else but Hero Soap Company. I love the peppermint and cool. This is the spearmint. They have the woods now. They have lavender. They have body
Do they have a
wash.
smoked paprika?
They don't have smoked paprika. They have body wash, and of course, they have awesome gift boxes too, for any sort of occasion coming up, birthdays, anniversaries. We've got 4th of July coming up. If you're like 4th of July, if you got a big patriot in your family, if you have a
The
veteran in your
Memorial Day
family,
gift?
Memorial Day, this is a nice little thing to do.
Mother's Day, Father's Day?
There you go. Be a great gift for mom or dad. AnthonyOnAir.com has the banner ad as well, so you can click on that or the link in the description of this episode. Don't forget that you can sign up for a subscription. That makes the best gift. Not just getting one bar of soap or two, you can get as many bars of soap as you want delivered to your home each and every single month. That is a subscription. The subscription, you get 20% off that right now with the promo code Anthony. Very, very clever. Here's why I disagree with you, Frank, on this Ghislaine thing. Ghislaine, and we talked about this, we speculated about this in the past. Ghislaine's coming to play. Ghislaine is not messing around.
Yeah. No, of course she is. But she's looking for this isn't. I mean, I guess it's not a simple. It's a he said she said for the most part. There's not a lot. I can't imagine a ton of like gotcha evidence. Like cut and dry. It's not as cut and dry as it should be.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like it's hard to prove an event took place when or something took place that there's very little evidence for, unless there's like videotapes or pictures. This is not an easy thing to prove. I would imagine.
Not at all.
It's the victim's word for the most part against their word.
But to the third part of them asking for the correspondence between the law firm and the authorities, They're like, to me, that's something where you want to see the case thrown out. Like if you can show any sort of, any bit of
Foul play, anything.
exactly. Like they are
That's why.
coming to play.
Yeah, that's why they got to. Whenever however they're treating her in jail. I mean, they got to make sure they,
Yeah.
you know, are on their end doing the right thing, I guess, so they doesn't give her any ammunition to come to court with.
By the way, I mean, let's not overlook that is probably most likely, allegedly, don't sue your old pal Aunt, a tactic. Hey, if you show up on day one, Ghislaine, and the jury walks in that room and you're just emaciated and look like garbage, they're gonna have maybe a smidge of sympathy. Maybe it's not sympathy, but maybe it's that little bit of doubt, like, oh, maybe they were mistreating her in that jail cell.
It's a possibility. I mean, they gotta go in. Any jury has to go in. Sorry, any jury has to go in without making up their mind beforehand. I mean, it's tough in this case, but they got to go in clean slate almost. And it's not going to be easy, and especially in a case like this.
Clean Slater is what I'm hoping, like Christian Slater. Just get in there and act all cool with the hair and everything. Be great.
I guess so.
Be fantastic. The Excelsior Pass. So this is
what the
this
hell is this?
All right. This is a digital passport, digital proof that you have gotten the vaccine and or you have negative COVID test results. This is genius. And New York is leading the way. That's why it's called the Excelsior Pass for the Excelsior State. I don't know if this was a Cuomo thing. I don't know where he found the time between harassing women to come up with this idea. I'm not sure how it works, Frank.
I'm sure he can't harass women 24/7.
I guess every now and then you got to take a breather. I don't know if it was somebody on the staff, some nerd in the IT department came up with it. We've been talking about this. How do you use technology to fight this? This is a stroke of genius and brilliance in the fight to get back to normalcy, because you have a situation now where Broadway, concert venues, sporting events, restaurants, bars. How do you stop the spread? I'm good. I got my thing. I'm good. Let me in. You don't have to worry about me.
Right.
We can all gather. We can have dinner. We could be close to one another. I'm vaccinated. I have a negative test. Here is my digital proof. So it's on both ends where these places, these locales will be able to be like, okay, you're good. You pop it up on your phone. Bam. I'm in there. No worries. And what's best out of all of this is Bill Gates gets that cherished information on us that he's started all this for in the first place.
I don't know what he's going to do with it.
I don't know either.
But, Frank is vaccinated. It's like, good. Glad you know that, Bill.
I just like to cut off the people as they're starting to type, "Oh, sure, idiot, fall for the." Oh, damn it! I like to get in there right as they're typing it.
Of course. Yeah. So this is a good idea. I like it. It's I don't know, like the COVID test, the negative COVID test. I'm sure there's got to be like I had the COVID test and tested negative on such and such a date.
Of course.
How good is that? Like a month later.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's
it's better than nothing. It's
well,
great.
Yeah, that'll be a little different, but that's going to be based on every place, basically. Like, so the Islanders here in New York, they have the Rangers too. All the sports teams, they all have. You have to have the rapid test within, I think, 48 hours, and then the other test you could have with it in a little bit longer. That's obviously not going to be as perfect as the vaccine, but again, it's all all
step
better
in the right
than
direction.
Exactly.
Now, is this on that app that we talked about? I don't know, months ago. We talked about this app months ago, the New York whatever app.
Yeah, that was a little bit different. This is slightly different. This is like you just go to epass.ny.gov for New Yorkers. Maybe we'll
That
tweet out a link.
that's not from my Easy Pass.
No, well, you can put it on there
I can't.
too. Yeah, you can get down to
Can I
Florida
sign up on
quicker.
that one too?
That'd be great.
Oh, good. All right.
That
Put
would
it
be
all on
great.
one thing. Easy Pass. Just put the Velcro thing right to my head.
That's what I
Easy
love about
Pass. COVID
conspiracy
test.
theorists the most, Frank. It's like, oh, you guys are falling for this bullshit. Yeah, meanwhile, you got the easy pass. You're on Facebook and Twitter. Like, you don't think you're being tracked like crazy? You know,
You ever sign up for a credit card? You ever
yeah,
anything?
yeah.
You have a bank account? You have a cell phone?
You're in it just as
Enjoy
much as
being
the
tracked.
rest of
Who
us,
cares?
basically.
Who cares? Like, not that, if they're going to steal my identity, that's one thing. But if they're just tracking what I'm doing, where I'm going, I go to the store, I buy groceries. What do they need to know that?
Yeah.
Like, I don't care. God, all right. I went to the store. I bought cinnamon toast shrimp. I don't know. Do you care? I don't, why would they care? Why would they need that? And also with conspiracy theories, not everything is something. Sometimes it's just what they tell you it is. Sometimes.
Yeah. Well,
Not saying all the time.
that's why I can't buy any of this Bill Gates stuff, because Bill Gates is a guy that he made it to the top. He did it. He got to the point where he literally needs no more money. He's giving his money. He's giving all his money away before he dies. He's
Yeah,
part of
you
that
want to
pact.
you want to think that he doesn't need any more money, but you look at these billionaires; they're always looking to make more. They're always
Yeah, but
always adding to their wealth.
he's literally giving all his money away. He spends his life on charity
Says
work
who?
and all this stuff.
All right, so charity work. That's great. So why is everybody all down on Bill Gates?
I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Because he's got us addicted to our
I think
technology.
I can buy conspiracy theories on a lot of people. I have the most trouble with him because it's kind of like the guy, like he made it to the top. He has nothing else to prove. He has nothing.
Well, how do you think he did that?
Yeah, well, he was a scumbag when he was doing all the computer stuff. You know that I don't doubt. I don't doubt he's got a side to him. But the point is
You
like
think he threw out all that crap he kept
I
coming up to the top?
no, but I think you do these things to amass power and wealth, of which he needs neither because he's already got it all in the bag. He can do whatever the hell he wants.
So if Lex Luthor wins, let's say he won, he gets everything he wants, he gets his money, he starts to, be the most powerful person in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Superman's fine with it. He stops being evil. Is that the cure for Lex Luthor? We just let him get the money and the power, and then he'll just stop being evil, and maybe he'll do some charity work.
Yeah, it's like, what's that saying? What is the dog doesn't when the dog catches the car, he doesn't know what to do with it? Is that the saying?
Something like that. That's close enough.
I feel like I'm gonna get a beating for that one, or not with that one. Can I quickly detour before we get to Dr. Oz, and we're gonna talk about cinnamon shrimp crunch, guys? So stay tuned for that. Can I quickly detour and just talk about how much I loved Justice League, the Snyder Cut?
You sat through 4 hours of that?
So good. It was so good.
Okay, if Batman versus Superman is on a scale of 1 to 10, where would you put Batman versus Superman?
No, that had I loved it, but that had a lot of problems. I acknowledge that had a lot of issues.
1 to 10 me. What do you got? 10 being the perfect movie.
Yeah, it was not the perfect
1
movie.
being your home videos.
I would put it at a the movie critic in me would put it at a 4. The fan girl in me puts it at like a 6.5, 7.
All right, so 4.
Yeah.
Okay, so where is this Snyder Cut?
This is unbelievably good. Like, it is
8.
Yeah. Yeah.
That good.
Yeah.
It's that good. It's 80%.
When the big again, this is the Irishman issue. When the biggest problem with the movie is its length. If it's good, that's not a problem.
That's true. No, my skepticism is not with the length. It's with the stories. It's with my faith in DC is not,
Yeah.
you know,
Well,
very strong.
this proves one thing, that when everybody gets off this guy's back and lets him just make a movie, it's fantastic. So if you're not a big comic book fan, don't even waste your time, because it is so in depth. And
Oh, I'm in. I love Batman. My problem with watching the like they change actors so many times. The Batman versus Superman, and when they start, you know, when Ben Affleck became Batman, it kind of felt like people like he wasn't really Batman. It felt like a guy pretending to be Batman.
he's so good in this. He is so good in this.
All right.
And here's the thing. Superman is obviously the man, but they don't demean Batman too much. Like, Batman still has a vital
Too much
role. Like, no, but it's like Superman is obviously he's the guy, but Batman's role in this is still super important. Without him, it doesn't work. So it's kind of.
I get it that they're all got their role. I get it.
And the reason why I really want to talk about this, Frank, is because I misspoke on a previous podcast when I said that when Snyder got fired or left or whatever it was there was some abuse allegations or whatever. I wasn't too far off. People were complaining about Joss Whedon, the guy who came in afterwards. They said he was difficult. That's where all that stuff came from. Snyder left the movie because his 14-year-old daughter, she committed suicide. And
that's a good reason to leave the movie.
He was dealing with that. I actually think he continued for a little while after that happened, and it was like a month after, and then he was just like, I gotta walk away from this. I can't.
Yeah, I don't think anybody would blame you.
Yeah. So it was brutal. But I've been watching all the interviews with him and everything, and if you're mildly interested in comic book movies, if you had any sort of interest in the Marvel movies, you will love it.
No, I want to see it.
So good.
I want to. I got to carve out 4 hours though. I've been watching the what's it called? Winter's what's it?
How's that? Winter Soldier and the
Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah,
it's not bad. It's they tie in a lot of the like WandaVision. They mention a couple, maybe 1 or 2 times. They mention the stuff that happened in the movies. This is like all about it. Like they talk about Captain America, they bring in all these references and stuff. So it's only 2 episodes in. They're about a half hour each, but there's a lot of action. The story's pretty good. It's good. It's up there.
Can I tell you something? I didn't love WandaVision. I thought it was good.
It was good. It wasn't, fantastic, but it was good. I liked it. Enjoyed it.
My wife just said after the first or second episode, it took. Honestly, I almost didn't get to the 3rd episode. I was so befuddled by the 1st and 2nd episode.
Befuddled?
I was befuddled. I didn't know what the hell was going on. It wasn't what I was expecting. It was very
that's the
odd.
point.
Yeah, I know, but still, it was very strange. I would listen if they here's WandaVision season 2. I'm gonna show up. I'm gonna watch it. I'm interested enough, but it wasn't all time to me. I don't know.
No, it wasn't the best thing ever or anything like that, but it was a good short series. It wasn't it wasn't worthy of 8 seasons or anything, but it was a good little story.
But if you're gonna go with Justice League, the Snyder cut, I will say the first 2.5 hours to almost, a little bit more than 2.5 hours, a lot of backstory and character development, which is enjoyable.
After the first 2, okay. I was going to say, and it gets going after the first 2.5 hours.
No, but then after you're kind of you go through and you're like, oh, that's why he's like this. And this is why this is happening. And now I get it. There's action and stuff. But then I feel like it takes off. Bless your heart.
Excuse me.
I really wish you wouldn't sneeze in the middle of the show.
I feel like I try to. You know how sneezes work, right? They're not voluntary.
Never saw
I don't
me
know what to
sneeze.
tell you. It's because you're not human. So I don't know how much character development we need at this point. I mean, we know Superman's story. We know Batman's story.
No.
We know Aquaman's story.
You're going to love it.
Are we gonna have to see dead Kevin Costner come back for another 2 hours?
He's not in it. He's not in it, but his character. You'll see. It's not as super important. But I'll tell you what. The droid kid. I forget his name now.
No, Cyborg.
Cyborg. Awesome.
Right.
And the Flash is so much better. The Flash is so much better. There is a scene in this movie with him where, ask my wife, my jaw was on the floor the entire time. It was so friggin' cool.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
You got Superman can do the job of all of those people.
Mm-hmm.
Superman has super speed. Flash. Superman could go into water. Maybe he can't talk to the fish, but I don't think he needs the fish at that point.
I just hate the way your wife loves you and laughed so hard at that. She laughed way too hard at that. So much more than it deserved. So much more than it deserved. Go ahead.
Cyborg, I mean, he's a robot. What does he have? Laser vision. He's super strong. Superman has that.
If he wasn't so entangled in the story of the team, you could pull out all of his scenes and have it be its own origin story movie, and it would be fantastic. Cyborg.
Okay, I mean that's fine. Do a Cyborg movie, but my point is, why do you need all these people when you got Superman who could do literally everybody's job?
Well, it's the same thing with why do you need all these people if Iron Man can do all the same,
Iron Man isn't a superhuman. He's not immortal.
For two reasons, Frank. You need a team. Everybody brings a unique set of skills, and also merchandising.
Merchandising.
Have you learned nothing from Spaceballs?
All right, merchandising. I'll give you that.
Thank you.
Not that I don't enjoy the characters. I love all the characters in the DC universe. And when it was Christian Bale, I loved those three movies.
Yeah, it was great. But this is so good. All right.
I'm in. I got to watch it.
This is exciting. We have our foreign wedding correspondent checking in. It's a little loud there. Let's bring Janine in.
We are looking for some hot stuff.
Janine is at a super spreader event right now.
Blair Witch style.
Yeah.
Hey.
What's going on?
Oh, I'm having a good time, okay? Oscar, say hello for the podcast.
Oscar.
Hey, Oscar.
Who is that?
Oscar, good to see you.
Francisco Rinaldi.
And who is that?
That's Watermelon Guy.
Okay.
That's him, not me.
How are you guys?
I don't know why.
I'm Watermelon Guy.
I don't know what that means, but
I don't know
I
what
like
it
it.
means either, but we got it.
I just invented it.
Is your hard shell on the outside, soft in the middle,
That's what she said.
and something with seeds. I don't know.
Are you sure you want to show Oscar so much? I don't know if that guy pays his taxes. That might be detrimental to him.
He likes that joke. I took a break because they're playing some 70s music, and I hate 70s music. So.
Hate 70s music.
70s music is the worst era of music.
It's the best to dance to.
Are you kidding? What are you? You are 67 years old.
All right, first of all, let's get a tally. How many drinks in are we tonight there, J-Sabs?
5.
Was the Big Al joke okay? Yes.
5.
Okay.
Five of what, though? 5
What are you
wines
drinking?
or 5 cocktails?
5 spicy margaritas.
Ooh.
Okay? I'm good. This guy, I don't know if he's good.
Spiced what?
Spicy margaritas. So she's drunk now, and her asshole's going to be burning tomorrow
Ooh.
morning, basically.
And she threw her mask at the bartender.
Don't tell him that, especially the guy.
What? Why did you do that?
Fuck you, bartender. I don't need my mask.
Anti-coronavirus, baby.
Now he's getting me in trouble now.
Who's not anti-coronavirus?
Right.
Who's pro? Is there anybody
This guy, look at his hair. He's
pro-coronavirus?
anti-coronavirus.
Bill Gates.
He has coronavirus right in his hair and his beard right now.
All right, I've seen 2
So why
people,
did
and
you
neither
throw?
one of them are wearing a mask. How is it going inside there?
Because look, nobody's wearing a mask.
You're outside though. The party's inside.
I took 2 motherfucking tests, and when they were both negative, and no one even asked me for them. Okay? I was a virgin until Monday. Now I'm not. Thanks. It's because
What
happened? I took a test Monday, but they took the wrong test. So now I had to take another test this morning. And guess what? No one even asked me for my test. What? Okay?
That's bullshit.
Well, that is a poorly run wedding.
Did you take a
Not
rapid
America,
test this morning?
Your friend's wedding.
I took a PCR. I thought I took a PCR test Monday, but it took a rapid. And this morning I took another rapid.
And they were both negative?
That's what she said.
Obviously.
All right.
Frank, that was good.
You call them quickies.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you.
They were quick and fun.
What? Why did you throw your mask at the bartender?
He's lying. I did not throw my mask at any bartender.
Oh,
Nobody's even wearing masks, okay?
That's good. Have a good time.
They're real.
Oh, okay. That's good.
Are they?
Frank,
Are they?
I would love to call you a liberal pussy right now under my breath, but I think I'll just do it. No, I'm just kidding.
Just yell it, baby.
Liberal pussy!
Are the tables?
I'm gonna bring you inside.
Okay. Are the tables
Here we
like
go.
spaced out, or are people just all over each other? Is it like normal times?
Normal time.
We're about to see.
That is a purple room.
That is Rihanna, baby. I think.
Oh, I gotta go.
Oh,
I gotta go. Say hello to our
night at the Roxbury.
Oh, we got
They got
tuxedos
the
and
whole gang.
wow.
You got half the gang there.
Why? I can't hear you.
All right. We lost Janine and Frank. Janine took down Frank in the mix of signing off. All right, there was Janine at the wedding. Check it in. That looked like a you know, you ever do something and you're like, this footage is gonna wind up on the news? Like oh, it's all my wife is telling me they're all teachers. She's like, don't worry about it. They're all teachers. Well, shit, I hope so, because that looked like when this gets onto the 6:00 news, they're gonna have to photo credit Anthony on air, and it's not gonna be something that I want to be necessarily associated with. Yeah, I was just
put a blue dot over my face.
I don't know why she took you down when she left, Frank. I don't know where you went, but yeah, I said that we're going to wind up on the news with that footage. People are going to be like,
good.
As seen on this podcast, you'll
Party's
notice.
still going on Long Island as COVID runs rampant.
It seems
Maskless
that
people.
17 people have fallen ill as we look at this footage from this not so funny podcast.
As they asked for tests, but not at the door. They just let anybody in.
Yeah, I'm worried about that.
That's fun.
I'm worried about that one. I will say, though, I think it's kind of brilliant to have a wedding right now because
Okay.
I don't know if you had this. You kind of flew through your wedding without a lot of issues, but like there's no like you got with where we are right now, you have the excuse to be like, I really wish we could invite you, but you know, CDC
No.
says.
See, I see it the other way. You invite as many people as you can so that nobody shows up and they still send you a gift.
That's what I'm saying. You can now go to people and be
idea.
like, listen, we really wish we could share this day with you, but you know, unfortunately, we just can't have that many people there. But we're gonna send you an invitation. You know,
And you're still required.
or an announcement, and now you're on the hook for a gift. So you get
It's
all
like
the
a
gifts.
destination wedding.
It is like a You've given license for everybody to have a destination wedding locally. Yes, that's exactly what it is. That is exactly what it is.
We'll thank Bill Gates for that.
I wish if we were gonna get stuck with this pandemic, I wish it would have came back in. When did we get married? 2014. I'm gonna pay for that one. I wish it would have happened back when we got married in 2013. Still
20
think so.
something.
It was felt like yesterday.
Within the last 10 years or so.
I believe so. 2014. So I was right the first time. See.
Have fun after we're off the air.
But that's what it's all. I mean, you're licensed to do whatever you want. You don't have to have any annoying people at your wedding that you don't want. Yet you can still give them the guilt trip to get you a gift.
And that wedding didn't look like there were a ton of people.
I know. I think you have to have less than 100 people. Once 101 comes, then it's COVID. Then you get COVID.
Yeah, but I didn't see hardly. I saw hardly no anybody there. It was like there was the table that we saw with our friends, and then there was like this wide shot of the room. You losing me?
I know. I heard everything you said.
There was a wide shot of the room, and it didn't look like there was anybody there. It looked like there were like 20 people.
I don't know. My wife says, our producer extraordinaire says it's 50% of the room. So it's not 100. It's 50%.
Right. But I don't even think 50% showed up.
Well, if 51 shows up, then everybody's got COVID. That's
it. That's how that works. It's a smart virus. It knows math.
Would love it if you could make it, but unfortunately, we just don't have the space. But at least we all got checks, right? So you got a check. Oh, okay.
Post office still works. Drop that sucker right in the mailbox.
You can't not everybody. A lot of people just got 1,400 just slapped into their hands. You're gonna be like, you're not gonna give a gift?
Is it acceptable to Venmo your wedding gift? Like if you don't want to mail a check, you just Venmo them $200 or whatever.
It should be now. It should be now. Yeah.
Because of the virus or regardless?
Kind of a both. I feel like we're around Venmo for gifts time, and the virus, I feel like maybe sped it up a little bit. You should be able to.
For a wedding gift, you think it's in your account already?
I think
no card.
Yeah.
No.
I think that would be the smart move.
Need a card.
I think you should send out with your invitation. There should be a QR code on there with your Venmo, and this way I can just pop it in and just send it on over.
That's a beautiful thing,
right?
Why even have the just send me a gift? I think we'll be married next month. Send me a gift.
Yeah.
It's like we're not giving you food. You're not coming to a big room and dancing.
Yeah.
Just send me the gift.
And then even you put the QR code on the table too, and then you just pop it in, and then you go like this. Was gonna give you 400. Here's 275. Guess what? The shrimp sucked. Send.
Right.
Done.
See, now you're the pressure's on to make it a kick-ass wedding.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah, exactly.
I hear you. So is Dr. Oz in trouble? What happened to him?
Think about that though. You have no excuse to not give a gift, since the government just basically flushed a lot of people with some fresh funds. Unless you've been out of work this whole entire time.
Those fresh funds. Exactly.
Those
fresh funds are not, for wedding gifts. I'm sure people need that to, eat.
Just saying.
Pay the rent.
This would be me. Did you get your check? I just want to make sure you got your check. Listen, we wanted to invite you, but
yeah, can I borrow $1,400?
You know how it is. But I'm happy you got your check. Just so you guys know, I'm happy you got your check.
So you see that you're a guilt tripping bastard, is what you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
We could have probably cleared triple what we did for our wedding right now, because it wouldn't have cost us as much because of all the the people we had to feed.
Right.
Also, I'm sure I get the feeling too that maybe the venues are a little bit flexible since they're trying to make up for lost time. Like they're doing whatever they can to get the business back in there.
You think prices are which way would the prices go? You think they'd go up because the business is not doing very well?
It's a good question. I don't know. Is it up or is it down?
I don't know. I mean, they want people to come, but if they got to recoup some dough, raise the price a little. I don't know.
All right, Dr. Oz. So he's been hosting Jeopardy, and 600 former Jeopardy contestants got together and signed a petition to get Dr. Oz thrown off the show. They do not want this guy on the show.
Dr. Oz sucks.
You don't like Dr. Oz either?
I do not like Dr. Oz. no.
Wow. Here's where I stand on Dr. Oz. I'm proud that I don't know what the hell this guy has ever said because I don't watch or listen to him ever.
You're good. If you don't know what he said, then that's ignorance is bliss.
In my
because he's
mind,
not-
he was the harmless like guy who's on at 2:00 in the afternoon who gives like tips on like, hey guys, stretch before you get out there and work. If you're over 40, you should be stretching. I thought he was.
that's the lighter side of Dr. Oz. There's some bullshit that he's done that's not very good. And I did this, so I can't be like this is exactly true. Take my word. I read this in an article. I didn't hear him do this. I didn't read. He didn't. I can't quote him, but he was allegedly for. I forget what it's called, like when conversion camps for gay people who.
Come on, is that true?
That's what I read. I'm not. If that's true.
See, I have difficulty hearing that somebody with the intelligence enough to go get a doctorate degree.
Yeah, but not every
in...
doctor is a good person.
True.
Look at, Kevorkian style.
Is he a religious nut?
I don't know. Again, I'm not. I can't. I don't know too much about him, but I'm bringing up an article here. I mean, he's not the greatest doctor. I wouldn't go see him as a. He wouldn't be my family practitioner.
Let's see here. LGBT organizers condemn Dr. Oz show for episode on so-called reparative therapy. Asked Dr. Oz to stand up for his LGBT viewers. All right. Now, skeptical me.
There you go.
Skeptical me wonders that did he just have people on to talk about this and people were upset about that? Or was he saying, hey, this is a good thing? Because those are two different things that people love to blur far too much.
Well, here's an article that was written. Let me see. This is AV Club. I mean, there's a lot of articles, and I've read the same thing in a couple of things. Let's see. His history includes promoting supplements that do nothing, legitimizing gay conversion therapy, dangerous cures for autism, and most recently the use of hydrochloroquine as a treatment for COVID, which is bullshit. So he's not, he comes out with stuff that's not.
I don't want to get into this because, but I swear I was reading somewhere that somebody said that the hydrochloroquine actually wasn't BS, but that it had become so, what's the word? Because Trump backed it.
Political,
that they didn't let it play out enough in testing to figure out whether or not it's a moot point now. But
they tested the crap out of it. It was no good. Why wasn't it tested on Trump? He was a big proponent of it. Why wouldn't he take it? He took the vaccine.
Yeah, I don't even care enough to go down this road. To be honest.
Yeah, I'm not a hydrochloroquine expert. I don't know too much about it, so I'm not.
All right. The Dr. Oz show airing an episode debating the merits of so-called reparative therapy and positioning a representative of the discredited National Association for Research and Therapy of Homosexuality as an expert. The groups are calling on Dr. Oz to stand with the entire medical community against this so-called therapy and to tell his LG. See, but what I went documenting the program on the so-called reparative therapy in a way that provided a lengthy platform for junk science. The first two segments of the show featured. See, all right, I'm going to leave this here. I'm going to drop this. I would have that person on. I would have no problem putting that person on to expose.
Yes. No, I know what you mean. If you're putting them on so that it's like a look at this idiot.
Look at how stupid this is.
Right. I don't know. Again, I didn't see the episode. I don't know much about it. All I know is exactly what I just read to you.
See, because that's my thing. I'm hypersensitive to that because I've been partied to that my whole entire career. Like people come in and they hear 3 seconds of something that you say, and they're like, "Oh, this person is this," and it's like, no, you have to put it in context.
He was scolded. He was scolded by a Senate panel in 2014 for hyping dubious weight loss products.
Yeah, well, that sounds about right. I mean, I feel like anybody on TV at 2:00 in the afternoon is hawking dubious weight loss products.
Yeah, but if you're a doctor,
yeah, you shouldn't be doing that. Yeah, I believe me. I don't want people to be like, "Why is Ant defending Dr. Oz?" I could give a shit. I don't even know what he stands.
Yeah,
if he sucks,
either.
He sucks. Fuck him.
Exactly.
I don't care.
Yeah, I'm not backing or whatever, doctor. If he's an asshole, and fuck him.
But it does say something that 600 nerds got together and were like, "Yeah, that guy sucks." You know, that does
600
say
smart people.
Yeah. That does say something. That definitely.
Just because he's a doctor on TV doesn't mean he knows everything he's talking about.
Very true. Very true. Now, was Oz with Phil? Is this all the Oprah? Didn't Oprah like anoint Dr. Phil?
Oh, yeah, you're asking the wrong guy. I don't know what Oprah. I don't think I've ever seen. You might kill me, but I don't think I've ever seen a single episode of the Oprah Winfrey Show.
Dr. Phil, but was Dr. Oz part of her crew or no? It's like that's like the Justice League of daytime talk show hosts. Oprah's Superman, by the way, in case anybody was wondering.
Is that the end of the Snyder Cut?
Yeah, that's what he reveals. He's
that's
like,
the reveal.
Look out,
pretty
it's
good.
Oprah.
That's pretty good.
No, but I would say Dr. Phil is what? He's definitely not the Flash, if I could take an easy low-hanging fat joke. Batman? Would Dr. Phil be the Batman of daytime talk show hosts?
No, Batman's cool. He's not Batman. He's like the reporter from the Gotham Times. You know.
All right, cinnamon shrimp crunch. Oh, sorry, you got something else?
No, I got nothing.
All right. You're like, thanks for saving me. That would have been useless.
Yeah, appreciate that.
So
what happened? Now we went over this the last podcast that the guy got shrimp and junk in his cinnamon toast crunch, rat crap string.
Go watch the last episode, and I say watch in case you're a listener to the podcast because it was definitely a very visual topic. But we got into a little bit of the milkshake ducking, which was the here's something crazy viral on the internet. Now let's take this person down, right? And it's true. It's gotten even worse today. I told you last episode about the ex-girlfriend that was like, hey, this guy is a real piece of garbage. And now there's just more people that are just kind of like joining the fray on taking down this Jensen carp.
So is it possible that this is all BS?
So, so this is what people are saying. All right, so let's go with one of the ex-girlfriend's comments. She wrote, haha, my quickly deleted subtweet yesterday said, oh no, I can't follow the latest viral saga because I was blocked in 2014 because I was not gracious enough after a surprise threesome. But not before I was told to be careful or I would never work in this town again, tweeted screenwriter Stephanie Minkus. The amount of women who DM me with stories today, let alone the ones I have known about for years and talked to about our shared experience. Oh, Lord. So she's basically saying like all this guy's ex-girlfriends were like DMing her being like, oh, this guy was a piece of shit to me too.
Okay. I mean, does him being a piece of shit to his exes mean that he faked the cinnamon toast crunch thing? I don't know. I don't know. He could be just a jerk. Who knows?
Actress Melissa Stetton also took to Twitter and said, and I quote, what you may not know about the man behind the viral posts, what you may not know about the man, what is like, he's like a manipulating, gaslighting, narcissist ex-boyfriend who once told me he was surprised I hadn't killed myself because my life was so worthless. Getting lots of texts from girls still in therapy over his terror. At least we have this fun little club.
What is it about this guy? Like, it's one of those things like, how is he getting all these women? Like,
supposedly he was like this big time rapper He actually had a big like rap record that was about to come out, and Eminem like blocked him or something. Like they were on the same like they were trying to replicate the Eminem success of like the white rapper, and so they got this guy and they put an album out, and then supposedly, as the story goes, Eminem got wind of it and he was like, "You better not put that out or I'm leaving." Yeah.
Wow.
And then he went into like podcasting and writing screenplay and doing all this other stuff. So that's how Seth Rogen and all these people know him. That's how I came to know him, was through Seth Rogen on Twitter. And that's what people are saying. So to answer your question, Frank,
I don't remember what it was.
Brandon Bird, who is a painter, tweeted, "Just FYI, the Shrimp Tails guy is both a marketing professional and someone who's lied to my face without flinching."
All right, so this guy might be full of crap, because the odds of finding not one foreign object, but multiple various foreign objects in a box of cereal.
Yeah.
You know, if you find one thing that's believable, but what was it? Can I list them? It was 2 shrimp tails.
Yep.
It was a bunch of string.
Yeah.
Random string. It was a few baked in rat turds or mouse turds.
But that's the thing. Like this guy expertly bake in rat turds in a like those cinnamon
did he
toast
bake
crunch.
them in, or did he just lay them? You know,
Can you even replicate a cinnamon toast? I saw it. There's no way that wasn't baked in. Like nobody could have at home figured that out. No.
I feel like if you take a cinnamon toast crunch square and you take a magic marker and do this, it could look like there's a rat turd on it.
There was depth to this. You could see it. It wasn't a.
All right, so he took a piece of lint. You ever take a piece of lint? It looks like a balled up little, it could be anything.
Wow,
Who
you're
knows?
against cinnamon shrimp toast crunch guy.
No, I'm playing devil's advocate. Maybe he's right. Maybe he's wrong. I don't know. And then also the bag is taped up. That was also the other thing.
Right. The guy from Lincoln Park tweeted that Karp is a good guy, saying he's a razor-sharp comic mind, an accomplished gallery owner, curator, spectacular podcast personality, all-around good dude. And Brandon Bird, the painter, shot back and said, he's nice to you because you're famous. Well, I mean, isn't that Hollywood? Isn't that entertainment?
I mean, I gotta say, the tweets that we read from him were funny.
Yeah, they were really funny.
His back and forth with Cinnamon Toast Crunch, that was kind of funny.
And to say, I'm surprised you haven't offed yourself to an ex-girlfriend, I mean, isn't that collateral damage? I mean, isn't that par for the course? Like,
I mean, I don't know. You say stuff. I mean, when exes fight, my parents, they got divorced, and then everybody got divorced, and all this stuff, and they said some pretty mean shit to each other.
Yeah.
So that they kind of get why you would say mean stuff.
Like,
but
that's what happens during a breakup. You say the worst, meanest shit you could possibly come up with. I mean,
I get that, but they're claiming that he was a jerk during the relationship.
here's what I guess so, and that he was a narcissist and all that. I mean, like,
Yeah, that's not good.
he seems like a like. What do you like? There's narcissists out there. You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying though is, if you have 10 ex-girlfriends or ex-boyfriends, like, all you need is, what do you think the ratio is, Frank? What's the percentage of exes that would say nice thing? I'm not talking about you specifically, because you're not a good example for this. But what are the ratio of people saying nice things about their ex versus not? So if you have 10, like all you need is 5 to be like, this guy is a piece of garbage, and now you have this thing going, you know?
Yeah, I mean,
and these girls are totally pulling a Trump here, where they're like, people tell me, a lot of people are tweeting me, he sucks. I've been hearing from we got a little club going, and you're like, where's this club? Where is this club?
They're made up of the best people.
Yeah.
I can't tell you who they are.
Yeah. They're like,
They
oh,
exist.
Lord, all the girls who have come out. Okay, who? Show it. There's
I
2.
don't know.
So
don't
far, there's
know.
2.
You know how much of this story I've seen? What you've read to me. So I can't tell you who these girls are, who these women are, and I've seen the pictures of all the junk found in that one bag of Cinnamon Toast Crunch. It's not. I can't say. I don't want to say it's hard to believe, because it kind of is.
It is hard to believe. It is.
because it's a lot of junk. It's like
Now-
it's like someone emptied their junk drawer into a box of Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Let me throw this by you. Let's start our own little conspiracy theory.
Here we go.
What if he found the baked in rat turds and then decided to add in all the other shit to make a bit out of it? That I could see happening. What if he came across this thing and was like, this is
like
disgusting.
a publicity stunt?
Yeah, this is gross. But I wonder if I put even more stuff in here. Like you said, it's so random. If I can get a little buzz going.
I would test the shrimp tails for DNA. Because when you eat a shrimp and you leave the tail behind, you're probably going to leave some kind of DNA on that thing. Or even fingerprint.
It's a good point.
Something.
That is a good point.
You know, was the teriyaki sauce on that shrimp tail?
By the way, he started when Seth Rogen first tweeted this, he had 60-something thousand followers. This Jensen Carp. He's up to 204,000 followers right now.
Yeah, but if this all turns out to be a fraud and a hoax, you know.
Also, he has not tweeted in 2 days. That is not a good sign.
They probably rubbed him out. Big Cereal took him out.
Big Cereal.
Big Cereal. You can't fight Big Cereal. They get you.
Turns out Bill Gates was on the board of General Mills, and now Jensen Carp's missing.
You think that son with the 2 scoops is not real?
Yeah.
They'll bring the hammer down on you, man.
Bet you it could have been Tony the Tiger, too. Just ask Tiger King how they'll turn on you quick. You just never know.
It's drastic stuff. You know, I don't know. It's hard to believe, but do I want? I feel like it's outrageous.
Yeah.
But it could happen. Who the hell knows? I picture a guy standing on a thing, eating and just dropping shit off, and it falls into a huge vat of Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and it just gets mixed in. But then again, how would it end up in the same bag?
And with the rope, and then the other bag was taped up. It doesn't make any sense.
I mean, all of those pieces ended up in one bag.
And
it's
the
not like
shrimp,
other people saw other bags. Yeah.
And the shrimp was pretty heavily coated. It looked like the shrimp was baked on, not that it was just sitting in the box.
Like it went through the
process.
The baking process. Well, you could just mix it in with if you took a handful of Cinnamon Toast Crunch and some shrimp tails and did this with it, the shrimp tail is going to be covered in cinnamon.
Yeah, but I don't think as much as this was.
Maybe.
Unless he put a little honey on it or olive oil or spray or something to get it to stick. I don't know.
That's a long way to go, man, for a bit. And if it's a bullshit bit, I mean, he's causing some problems for a major company. That's lawsuits and fraud and all this stuff.
Big Cereal jokes aside, those are major corporations that'll sue you will
cease to exist.
Yeah. If this can be tested and they can find out that you did all this, you're in a lot of trouble.
Defamation. I mean, I can't imagine how many people didn't buy Cinnamon Toast Crunch because of this story.
Oh, I bet you they're way down this week.
Gotta be.
Gotta be.
I have a box, but it's from 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. Check it for rat turds and shrimp and rope. Just be careful. I'm worried about you, buddy.
What state is this guy in?
I think California.
All right.
I think it's
other side
Los
of
Angeles.
The country.
Yeah, he's from Los Angeles.
I'm sure my Cinnamon Toast Crunch didn't come off the same truck as his Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Let's hope not. Let's hope not. But I'm fascinated by 2 things. One, if he did create all this, this is like the guy. Remember the guy who drank the ocean spray and did the skateboarding and how he took off? Virality is so fascinating because when you see it, sometimes you go, this has all the elements that one needs to go viral. There's also that little thing you can't put your finger on. But that's the thing. You know how many people try and do these things and fail? There's no rhyme or reason. It's timing. It's a lot of things that come together to make so even if he did do this crazy thing, there was no guarantee that it was going to go where it went.
I think there sort of is. I mean,
not really though.
The odds of it. Yeah.
If you have if you're Cardi B and you got 50 million followers, yes, I get that. But even 60,000 followers is not a lot of followers to go viral. Now, he's got a better chance than the person who's got 100 followers, but it's still not really, it's not, you know. And here's the other thing. Here's the other thing I find even more interesting, Frank. It's our desire to to destroy and pull these people down once they've hit this certain height.
It's a little of that, but I feel like it's also the desire to call out injustice when we see it.
But is this injustice at all? I mean,
No, not like wrongdoing, fraud. Like if someone's a bullshit artist, we gotta, we love to be like, no, this guy's full of shit, or this company is terrible. I
just wish somebody would do a study, because I can't help but I have nothing to back up what I'm about to say, but I believe in my heart it's 1,000,000,000% true. That if you trend a certain amount on social media, especially Twitter, inevitably in the next 5 days, you're getting killed. You're getting murdered for something you did. Now,
what do you mean?
The flashier ones of like, he broke up with me and was a jerk, or I was harassed, or I was this, or I was that. But a lot of it could just be like, he owed me money in the 7th grade. $50 he borrowed and never paid me back. And there's always something. There's a reach to prominence, a height, a virality to the top, a popularity, and then once you're there, it's like, how do we take this guy down? And it's not like this grand conspiracy of there's somebody pulling all the strings. Collectively, as a society, whenever we see somebody up there, we go, oh, what's their deal? I got to pull them down.
I think maybe there's a little bit of that, but I don't think it's as cynical as that. I think once something goes viral or someone goes viral, because there's success stories with that, but there's also, I think, the story, whatever it is that went viral, runs out of steam, and then that person has no more content to offer, and it's like, all right, they just fade away, they disappear. But then there's people that go viral and maintain kind of a semi.
But it's like all
whatever.
Like Kevin Hart gets the Oscars, and then somebody decides to dig back
a success story
10 years ago and get the. Here's the biggest example of this. There was some guy who got SNL, some comic, I forget his name. Doesn't even matter. It's not important. He gets SNL, and then somebody finds him on a podcast talking bad about Asian people, or there were Asians. I think I even saw it, and I was like, he shouldn't have done that. That was messed up. But I remember also thinking of like, there could not have been more than 40 people having watched this. Like this podcast, it wasn't Joe Rogan or Mark Maron. Somebody had to act it. Like my aunt has a more popular podcast than this friggin' guy.
Right, but if your aunt was called to host SNL, then all the things your aunt has done in the past would become more popular because people want to know about them. People would start watching your aunt's movies or your aunt's.
I guess
listening to your aunt's podcast, and then all of a sudden, oh, what did he just say?
But it's not like I don't know. I feel like this guy had probably 60 podcasts that, again, and I remember going through after the story broke, and I remember going through and seeing views of like 48, like 51. I'm like, nobody was who discovered it was easier to find Carmen Sandiego than the podcast of this guy talking bad about Asian people.
I feel like they found her every week.
That's true.
She wasn't that hard. Plus, if you want to stay hidden, don't wear a giant red hat and trench coat.
Also,
maybe blend in a little more.
Also a good point.
But all I'm saying is, Saturday Night Live, probably nobody would have cared. Like nobody would have found his podcast with the racial stuff if he wasn't hosting Saturday Night Live.
Yeah,
meaning,
but
Saturday
that's just
I get
that. But that's just an example. Like you name any, whether it's viral or it's a talent or a position or whatever it is, whatever it is. Like, I think the worst thing in the world for anybody these days is to go viral on Twitter. It's just the worst because you're. It
depends. It depends. If you're Tom Hanks and you go viral, you're fine. Nobody, everybody's seen your stuff. They go back in the history of what Tom Hanks has done, and they don't find anything bad.
No, I hear he eats people. That's what I read on Twitter.
Well, if there's a video of that, then he's screwed.
What's going on in the Suez Canal, Frank? I have no idea.
All right, so the Suez Canal. Let me bring this back up here. So in Egypt, there's the Suez Canal. Now, this thing
is that in Egypt?
It's a huge canal, obviously very famous.
I swear to God, I thought that was in South America. It just goes to show you how well I did.
Yeah, you're thinking Panama Canal, I think.
I was, you know what I was thinking? I thought the Suez Canal was like a smaller Panama Canal down in South America somewhere.
Next time I see you, you get a smack for that.
I was like, the Suez Canal doesn't get enough respect as the Panama Canal, but I get it. It's the bigger one. People want to go to that one.
I hear you. It's a better canal.
I legitimately thought the Suez Canal was the New Jersey of South American canals. Like, it's kind of there, but it's not. Nobody gives a shit like they give a shit about New York and the Panama Canal. Go ahead. Tell your story.
Speaking of New York, there is in the Suez Canal right now, as we speak, there is a container ship the size of if you took the Empire State Building and laid it down. That's how big this
feels like.
That's how big this container ship is.
Okay.
It's a big boat. Right now, all right, so the Suez Canal goes like this. This container ship is now going this way. It's stuck.
So it's literally stuck perpendicular in the Suez Canal. Is that what's happening?
It's blocking everything in the Suez Canal. It's sitting there stuck in mud and whatever in the Suez Canal. Suez Canal is going, let's say it goes east to west. This thing is facing north and south, stuck like a dam.
What this is doing right now to the Suez Canal is basically what my lifelong obsession with Twinkies is doing to my arteries, is what you're saying.
Kind of.
Got it. I follow now. Now I get it.
Only you're not worth $5.1 billion a day.
Well, that's hurtful. Some would argue that I'm priceless.
That's westbound traffic only. Eastbound traffic, $4.5 billion a day. That's what's being blocked by this ship.
So what are they saying? The West is more valuable than the East? Is that what's happening here?
Or whatever's going one way or the other is worth more. Who the hell knows? But let's see, how $400 million an hour.
400. Stop beating up your computer, by the way. It's not doing anything. You're freezing for split seconds. It's not that
every
big.
time I hit it.
It's not big. It's
freezing on my end.
Oh, all right. It's fine for the audience.
Second, but I get blocked for like 10 seconds. So it comes out to $400 million an hour.
Damn.
Is being blocked because this thing is stuck. I don't know if you can see. There's a picture here, a satellite picture. The brightness is too high. So this thing is sitting.
Oh man!
And it's just no traffic getting through.
How did that happen?
That is a wonderful question. I tried to make a turn, I guess, or something. Someone's getting fired over this, but
trying to make a K turn.
Yeah, let me back it up. How we doing over there on your end?
There's just somebody on the side of the canal going, "You're good. You got room. Come on."
Now cut the wheel. Cut it.
Cut the wheel.
Meanwhile, there was a statue or Empire State Building length away. Yeah. So I want to see how long it's been there. What's today? Published on since yesterday, at least.
Yeah.
Midday yesterday. It's been stuck, and it's still stuck right now, and it's causing a big problem. So
somebody put a meme up of we should tie a bunch of balloons to it, like the old guy in Up.
All right. See, someone's thinking.
Hey, it's all.
What do you do? You got to dig it out, or?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's going to cost so much to get this thing moving again.
Can I be honest with you? It might be easier to just dig a canal 20 miles down the road a little bit. I mean,
what I would do is just dig the canal. Like here's the block ship. You just dig the canal
around the boat.
Right around it.
Yeah,
and just
have to do
funnel the water around it.
We might have to
Just
do that.
sit that sucker right there.
I can't wait to talk about Pepsi Peeps, but I skipped the Georgia thing. Do you want to enlighten us on what's going on in Georgia?
So a bunch of bullshit's happening in Georgia. Let me bring up that. Now, it happened either today or I have to look at the story. I had it out.
No, it's
then
weird. Can I
Suez
just say
Canal
something
thing.
about you? Because the Suez Canal, the Cinnamon Toast Crunch guy, and this Georgia story, I can't tell if it's been around for 3 weeks or a day and a half. Like, I don't know what happened in the last day or so, but time has been very strange in the last day.
Year.
Yeah. Well, also true, but I feel like the Suez Canal thing, I thought it was like a week-long thing, and you're like, oh no, it was
This
yesterday.
happened yesterday. The day
Yeah.
It's been a day, but it's still stuck, and there's no
Yeah.
hope of it going anywhere for a little
Same
while.
thing with the Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I feel like this has been like a 4-week story. It's only like 2 days old. So
That I'll give you. I feel like we've been talking about it forever.
Yeah.
But so yeah, I don't have it in front of me, but I'll give you what I could remember. So the in Georgia decided to block a bunch of voting rights. There's a lot of voter restriction going on in Georgia since the last election, and I got to tell you, it's a bunch of bullshit. So what they're pulling down there, they're limiting drop boxes for mail-in voting. They're cutting back on them, so they don't want people mailing in voting.
Mhm.
They're cutting the times that people can vote. They're this is off the top of my head, so please forgive me if I screw up a little bit of these details. They putting a lot of more restrictions on the voting and mail-in process because they're doing a lot more identification checks and all this stuff. So they're limiting how many people can actually effectively vote by mail. Also, another just pointless. There's no even why are you even arguing this? Like, what is the? I could see people arguing one side or the other, but for this, there's no argument. They are literally, it's a misdemeanor now. If you see people online voting, if I gave someone online voting what food or water, I could get a misdemeanor. I could be arrested.
So you see a bunch of voters online waiting to vote, and you give them a bottle of water, and that's a misdemeanor.
That's a misdemeanor.
Who came up with
in Georgia?
That? I mean, literally, like I
Assholes.
get it. I get that you're like, oh, here's a Trump water or here's a Biden water, like, you know. But I mean,
No, but that's not the law. It's any bottle of water for anybody's.
No, I know what I'm saying. Like, I'm sure that's what I'm sure some candidate down there was giving away water, and that's what spurred this. But it's like, I don't think a bottle of water at the last minute is going to sway your decision making.
Now I'm voting. Yeah, no, it's ridiculous. It's because people were standing in line for hours and hours and hours, waiting to vote, and they're trying to stop people from doing that.
Oh,
and
I see. That's probably what happened. So probably the people that were like, probably the Democrats were out there be like, don't go, don't stay here. You want water? You're thirsty. That's probably what happened. That's probably.
And what's wrong with that? Democrat or Republican? Republicans can do the same.
Well,
gonna do
that's the interesting thing.
I never heard of giving someone water, a crime.
That's the interesting thing is it's even. You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand the manipulativeness of being like, oh, stay here, please vote, stay. But it's even because you really know who that person is going to be. I mean, unless they're wearing a Biden pin or a Trump pin or whatever, you don't really know who they're going to be voting for. Although some would say like, oh, if they're this nationality or this, if there's a woman, they're voting for this, So some might say that, but still, I still think especially this past election, that was more than ever. The minority votes that the Republicans got was like the highest ever. So that's not necessarily true either. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, it's the first time Georgia was flipped to Democrat.
Well, this
is not first time, but first time in decades.
A long time. Well, and that's my point, because you're sitting there with a Republican state legislature. What do you think they were going to do? I mean,
yeah, but they're not playing. They're changing the rules because they lost.
Yeah, that's what bullshit. They do. That's what everybody does.
What the hell is that? You lost. Get over it.
That's America. No, because they're gearing
Try
up
harder
for
next time.
they're gearing up for the next round.
But what they're doing is it's un-American. It's not fair. They cut the so now you can't vote for it. Has to be between 9 and 5. So people who have to work for a living can't take off or vote after a certain time. So they're it's really affecting anybody who can't vote during the normal. Yeah, it also makes a misdemeanor for people offer food and water to voters in line in a state where people sometimes wait for hours in the heat to vote. So it's
I got to be honest with you. When
ridiculous.
I go to vote, I bring a hero sandwich with me and eat it in front of everybody and go, "You guys hungry? Because this is delicious. I wish I could share with you."
You can't. God forbid you give a bite to someone standing in line behind you. You get arrested.
No, I wouldn't share with anybody anyway. But I'm just saying, I like to make people as jealous as possible.
Well, if you're wife behind and you're with her,
Say that again.
you're screwed. But again, if your wife's behind you, you can't give her a bite, I guess.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, right? Thank you. You're not even listening to what I'm saying.
No,
Where are you?
that's really
With me?
funny. Like, the officer, that's my wife.
Nope. Arrested.
I don't give a shit. Get down on the floor. The bill, according to this article here, the bill standardizes voting hours from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. or as long as 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. It requires 2 Saturdays of early voting instead of 1 and makes 2 Sundays optional for early voting. It continues to allow absentee voting without offering a reason, but requires a state-issued ID to request a ballot. The bill also bans handing out water and food to voters waiting in line at the polls and shortens runoff elections from 9 weeks to 4 weeks.
Exactly. Which a lot of the runoff elections is what got the people that passed this bill.
Right.
That's what elected.
But it sounds like it's I don't know why it's 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. or 7 a.m. to 7 p.m.
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
Why don't you just make it 7 a.m. to 7 p.m.?
I don't know what that means.
Yeah. But that doesn't sound like they're restricting.
I think the amount of places too.
Oh.
They're not. I think if you keep reading, I skimmed through it, but with the little that I read about it before this started, it's just not fair. I mean, if every state did this, it would really.
Are you upset about this though? Because basically Trump talking a lot of shit, and now there was some action based off of the bullshit that he was talking.
Partly, but I'm more upset because they're restricting. I mean, why can't it be everybody votes? Why are you afraid of people voting? Let them vote. What's the problem? Why are you restricting?
Okay, can I just say this? Because I there's a lot of in the weeds here that I don't want to get into, but I never understood why, and I feel like this is a standard thing of why Republicans want to restrict voting. Like, again, it's a level playing field. So if you're restricting voting,
because they want to make it unlevel.
I understand that, but my point is why is voting restriction advantageous to the Republicans? Is what I could never fully understand. Because
it's a lot to do with, and they'll deny this up and down, but it's a lot to do with they don't want minorities.
Right, and I know there's that thing of like, oh, minorities don't have IDs or whatever, or less likely to have IDs. But I feel like
they have to work. They have to.
Or if they have to work. But I feel like it's 2021. Like, who doesn't have an ID?
Not everybody. Someone who doesn't drive, but if you don't drive, you don't have a driver's license. And where's your ID?
Yeah, but I don't even know why I had it, but I had a state ID before I had a driver's license.
Yeah, you got to apply for it. There's not everybody can get one. I don't know.
I guess so.
Hold on.
I guess so, but I also feel like
weird. There's a lot of things that make it.
If you're cutting it down from 9 to 5, which I don't think is right, because I think there should be plenty of hours after and before the
I
standard
think everybody
workday.
should have off. It should be a holiday. It should be a national holiday.
First of all, you're right about that. It really should be. And if it's not, if you're in a job where you have to work, they should give you 3 hours to get to a voting place and, and get back. You know what I'm saying? Like, you should be able to work that out throughout the course of your day somewhere.
Right. You should be let out to do it. Now, also, there's stuff that, let's see, aims to restrict access to the ballot box following record turnout in the election. Also, there's something with if there's some kind of dispute over certain votes, it goes to this person who it wouldn't have gone to before, who's like in charge of it now.
But it says here that there is early voting on Saturdays, and they're like going to open up early voting time. So that's something.
Yeah, exactly. Again, I haven't read through all of this. There's a lot to go through, but from the little that I've seen, what they're trying to do is just limit and have more control over who gets the vote.
Here you go. The bill would also wrest election authority from Georgia's Secretary of State, allowing the legislature instead to appoint a chair of the state election board.
Yeah, anybody they want. Does that seem fair?
It doesn't, because I don't know how many seats are in the state legislature, but I know it's multiple. And the odds are that the Republicans will have the majority there. So even if they were to not have the attorney general, they could find a way to circumvent that. Yeah.
Yeah. What's going on is not, I mean, how they passed this. And what about, there was a woman, I don't know her name, but there was a woman in Georgia who, when this bill was being signed, are you still hearing me?
Yes, okay. I hear you.
When this bill was being
Gladys
signed.
Knight, I believe, is the woman you're referring to. She got there on a midnight train. I wasn't waiting for you to invite me to take a bow. I was taking a bow anyway on that one.
Well done, sir.
You can't say there was a woman in Georgia and then leave that big of a pause and not expect me to slam dunk it. Go ahead.
There's no women in Georgia other than Gladys Knight?
Well, no. I mean, for the joke purposes, that was the first one I thought of.
All right, fine. Fine, well done.
My brain went to Ray Charles first, but I couldn't make a joke there. So
didn't work there. So
yeah.
you flipped the switch pretty quick. That was good.
Thanks, pal.
There was a woman who, while the bill was being signed, she worked in the government building where it was happening.
Okay.
She simply knocked on the door. This was all signed behind a closed door, by the way. She knocked on the door and wanted to get in there to see what was going on, to see this law change, to see them sign this bill. She was arrested.
Oh.
Why? Woman of color, by the way, a black woman.
Well, I don't know what that is.
I'm just saying, she was standing there. All she was doing was knocking on the door, and they arrested her for what? I don't know, but they let her out soon after. But she worked there.
I mean, look, obviously this is a Republican legislature. They're responding. It's not.
Make up the rules as you go. It's fine. Whatever you want to do.
Basically, that's what it is. And
I mean, how is this allowed? How is that even a thing?
Well, states can make up their own minds. State laws they pass. That's what they do.
Yeah, but isn't the federal government there to step in and be like, what the hell are you doing? They can't say, a state wait, hold on, I'm listening again. Okay, if a state all of a sudden said it's illegal to have more than 2 kids, I feel like the federal government can go, hang on a second.
Well,
you can't do that.
No, because states' rights supersede federal rights.
So a state can do anything they want.
But I think
I don't. But
no, because all this has to be there's checks and balances. But
that's what I'm saying. There should be stuff that's Hey,
but
wait
there
a
is
second.
within this. There is inside the state, not federally.
So as long as the state's controlled by people who want to do something stupid gets passed.
Well, it's like prostitution's legal in certain states.
Yeah.
You know, you can't. It's illegal in the country, but certain states it's legal.
Right. But there's checks. I feel like there's checks and balances to the stuff. Like there shouldn't be this. We could make up any law.
No, you're just upset
Like,
because
hey-
your side lost on this one. It's
No,
making
it's
it more.
nothing to do with my side or their side. It's is a handing water to someone waiting online. What is the purpose of that?
Yeah, because like
What is the
bribe,
purpose of making that illegal?
they're worried about bribes and all that kind of stuff because they're worried that if people are waiting online and they're like getting frustrated and they want to leave,
Yeah.
that'll help them stay.
That'll make them stay. Yeah, and vote, which
Yeah.
is their right.
Yeah.
So a bottle of water while they're standing there outside in the Georgia heat or whatever. I don't know what it's like in Georgia in November. But if they're standing outside in Georgia, I have no idea. But they can't have food. That nobody can give them a bottle of water. Not sell them. Just give them. I could see some kind of case being made for selling water. You know, it's not a commercial thing. You're voting. This isn't like a baseball.
Actually, I
park.
could see a case being made for actually selling the water. Like, hey, if you're thirsty, here's a bottle of water for $2.
Right, but I could see also the other side saying, "Well, we're here for one purpose. This isn't a money making thing.
Yeah,
This
no,
is a
it's
voting
definitely
thing."
weird. I'm not saying you're not right about the bottle of water thing. It's definitely strange, but it's a form of trying to buy a vote at the last minute kind of thing, which I don't think would actually happen, but people may perceive that it would.
Yeah, but none of this would be happening if all this bullshit wasn't. You know,
That's
they
what I
weren't
think is
sore
burning your
losers.
ass most out of all of this is because it's born out of complete nothingness.
It's born out of we lost and we have to make sure we don't lose again.
Yeah, but this is not uncommon. This is not an uncommon practice from.
Well, it's not democracy. It's not.
Yeah, but I'm sure I could point to a time when Democrats did this in the exact.
I would hate
opposite
that
manner.
too.
Yeah,
I would hate that too.
but that's just kind of what happens. Like I think that's how this is how things go.
Oh, it's just the way it is.
Well, McConnell and all them switched how things were voted on in the Senate, and now that's coming back to bite them in the ass. And now they're like, "Well, it shouldn't be this way." It's like, well, you guys turned it this way. Like,
Yeah, you know what it's like? It's like if McConnell and whatever passed all the stuff before it switched. If
Yeah.
McConnell and everybody passed all this stuff, and then all of a sudden the last law they passed was, remember everything we did? Untouchable.
Right.
That's
Well, it's funny because now
like wishing for more wishes.
now they call out the Democrats for doing things the way that they did them, and they're like, "It's not right to do that." It's just like the Democrats
You
were
mean
saying
doing-
that shit to you, and you were doing it. And around we go.
No, but they're not playing by the rules, is what I'm saying. They're just making shit up just to make sure that
Yes,
their side wins. That's all
agree.
they're doing.
It's not the rule. Well, but that's how it is, though. It's
That's not the way it should be.
let's just make up the rules as we go, and if we want to change things around, we change things around. Don't forget, the Republicans are going to be sour on the fact that all the rules were changed because of the pandemic. You couldn't vote the way we voted during this election if it wasn't for extenuating circumstances of the pandemic. And you ask any hardcore Republican, and they're going to tell you the only reason why Biden won was because of people being able to send votes in. And they'll go further and tell you you shouldn't have been able to do that because there was no threat in going to a polling place to actually vote yourself in person. That's what they'll say.
No, well, yeah, but the other side is the only reason a lot of Democrats voted by mail is because Trump was telling all of his followers, don't vote by mail.
Agree. He probably shouldn't have said that. He probably would have made this a lot closer, if not possibly won, if he would have
And then
said.
all of a sudden, all these Democrat votes come in for Biden by mail. And he's like, oh, we got to stop counting. What are we doing?
Yeah.
Why are we counting all these votes?
Agreed.
Because they're votes, you giant asshole,
Agreed. But
is my
the-
argument.
they'll make the case. They'll make the case that he wouldn't have even gotten close to that many amount of votes if people didn't have to vote couldn't
Whatever.
vote from ease from the comfort of their own home and just mail it on in.
Okay. What? So they did.
Well, yeah, well, but I'm saying, like, you're talking about changing the rules. We changed the rules for this election.
No rules changed. They just voted more.
No, every rule changed. You could not. They
you
extended.
could vote by mail. Oh yeah, no, they changed rules to accommodate people who couldn't leave the house. I get it, but it should be.
I mean, that was the basis for every.
That was the basis for easier.
That was the basis for every Republican argument in Pennsylvania. Was why did we change the rules to begin with? That's what they were fighting the entire time.
Fine, but we changed the rules. See, changing the rules about voting should make it easier for people to vote,
right?
Not harder. So if you're going to change the rules on voting, it shouldn't restrict voting. It should just make it easier for people.
Some will argue if you make it easier to vote, you're making it easier to vote multiple times.
That's not a good argument because there's things.
Tell that to the
that.
Kennedy people. That's basically how he won Chicago. I mean,
what?
That's how Kennedy won the election when he ran. In Chicago, they voted. All the dead people voted and voted 3 times.
That was 70 years ago. What are you?
I know, but I'm just saying. That's what happens when you relax the rules so much. I agree.
We're not talking about relaxing all the rules. We're talking about making it easy for average citizens, people, not even average, above, whoever, citizens.
Yeah.
We're talking about regular people.
I agree that everybody should have the day off or be given plenty of time to go out and vote. Because, again,
government should be making it easier, not harder.
This was the most voted popular election, and still more than half of the country stayed home and didn't vote. I mean, that says something.
And everybody's like, "Oh, how did Biden get 80 million votes?" Because a massive amount of people voted. Record number of people voted. That's why. It's only 7 million more than Trump got. I mean, you're not surprised at what Trump got. Why are you surprised at what Biden got?
Are these numbers accurate? I'm going to check with the My Pillow guy and see.
Yeah, he'll know.
Pepsi Peeps, my friend. Pepsi Peeps.
Pepsi Peeps. Why?
I should actually whisper this because I talked to my wife about this before the show started, and she was very upset. First of all, she is a Diet Coke girl to her core. Like, I honestly feel like if she had to choose from losing Diet Coke or me, I think she would choose me, but the amount of time it would take her to pause and think about it would be enough to hurt my feelings. And also,
I'm on the fence.
I will forever go on thinking that she only chose me because she has to live with me for the rest of her life, and she couldn't possibly offend a Diet Coke. So, that's the other part of this.
Plus, you're less filling.
Well,
that's what she said.
That's hurtful. I don't know if you meant that to be a jab at my sex life, but okay, because it definitely came across that way.
That's how I meant it. There he goes. And we lost him.
Son of a bitch, that was better than the Gladys Knight one.
Boom, count it.
I'm leaving. I don't want to do this shit anymore. Fuck this.
I wish this was the end of the story, because then we could just sign off.
No,
we have to tell the story now.
Well, here's what it is. They're creating a Peeps, because this could have gone the other way. We could have had a Pepsi flavored Peeps. We did not. We have a Peeps flavored.
That would
Pepsi.
be weird.
Yeah. But my wife hates Peeps, and actually so do I. I think that's how we got together.
I like Peeps.
In the Peeps hating AIM chat room. You like Peeps?
I like Peeps, but I'm a Coke person, not a Pepsi person.
Yeah, I think Peeps are disgusting and not good. They're more for show than anything else. I just don't like to eat them.
Oh, they're just sugar covered marshmallows.
Ugh, I'm not a marshmallow guy. Don't like the marshmallow.
See, I think Rocky Road ice cream marshmallow's great and everything. What's the matter with you?
Ugh.
You don't like Rocky Road ice cream?
No, I think I hate marshmallows, to be honest with you. I think...
All right, you're not of this planet.
I don't.
Marshmallows are wonderful.
I'm gonna be honest. Outside of a s'more, and it's got to be a fresh s'more, not like those packaged ones you buy at the bodega. Like it's got to be you're making it in the backyard. You're melting the chocolate. You know, real
Marshmallows are little. Marshmallows are little pillows of joy.
I could put them in a hot chocolate
that
too.
Humanity has.
I could put them in a hot chocolate, but outside of that, I have little use for them.
So that's. What about like cereal marshmallows?
No. Oh, hate them.
Those are different kinds.
Hate them.
No, the harder ones.
Like the Lucky Charms and all that. Never a big fan.
Right.
Never.
Yeah, that's a different species of marshmallow though. But I'm talking. Let's get like the big fluffy ones, like that you would use at a campfire. You're not into those. I could polish off a bag of those things.
Yeah, you mean just like eating them, like just
like potato chips?
No.
Just bloop.
Gotta be toast. Gotta be toasted.
Sure, if that helps.
You know,
go ahead.
You know when you have a piece of bread that's like a couple days old, that like if you toasted it, it would be saved. It would be delicious.
Sure.
But it's gone past the time where you can just eat it. That's what marshmallows are like to me all the time. They're always in that state of like,
but they're fluffy and delicious.
Yeah.
There's a place by me. It's like I haven't been there in years, especially because of COVID and everything. But there's like yogurt. It's
a frozen yogurt place.
Okay, you still hear me?
Yeah, frozen yogurt.
There's a frozen yogurt place by me, and you get the cup, you fill up your frozen whatever flavor frozen yogurt, and you get you add the toppings, and they weigh it. So one of the flavors of frozen yogurt is toasted marshmallow.
Ooh.
Oh my God.
It's good.
And it's the best one. I get it every time I go there. And they also have like the melted toasted marshmallow, like almost like hot fudge, but like a sauce.
Yep.
Oh my God. That's like the best ice cream, yogurt, whatever on the planet. It's amazing. Moolala is the name of the place. Free plug.
Moolala. Well done. Well done.
They know what they're doing.
This is what pisses me off most about this, though. Like, by the way, here's the actual flavor for people. We haven't had a visual yet. The whole episode. There's the Pepsi can. It's yellow, surrounded by yellow Peeps. So there you go. But they're not selling this.
They're not.
I don't know. This is the trend now. I feel like if they would have sold this, they would have gotten a boost from all the Peeps people. But it's another one of these things where you social media and you gotta tweet, hanging with my Peeps.
You gotta tweet that. That's a given.
To win, they're gonna give away a bunch. They're gonna do yellow, blue, and pink flavors.
So now will the Pepsi be yellow, blue, or pink?
Yeah.
Cool.
And it looks just like a Peeps. It's just like a Peeps package. It's got the little window.
No, but like the liquid inside. Would it look like Pepsi?
I would imagine. Oh, I don't know.
See, the one thing I've always said about soda is this could use more sugar. My teeth aren't rotting out of my face fast enough.
Yeah. But to me, Peeps are
let's combine marshmallows with soda.
Peeps are the fruitcake of this holiday. Like, everybody buys them and gives them out, and nobody actually eats them.
I don't think I've ever seen or had any kind of fruitcake in my life. I've never seen a fruitcake. I mean, maybe in the store, in the window or something.
Yeah.
But I've never seen it at a party or at my parents' nothing. I've never seen fruitcake or had it, know what it tastes like or what the hell it's about. I got nothing on fruitcake.
I think you've never seen it because everybody was sensitive around bringing it around you because we all called you fruitcake for all those years.
Fruit salad, first of all.
Oh. It was fruitcake behind your back then. That's right. That's what it was.
Think I'm not aware of that? Bastard.
Nobody said fruitcake better than the Jerky Boys guy.
Fruitcake.
Yeah, he was the best at saying that.
I miss the Jerky Boys.
Me too.
They were great.
Me too.
I had all their stuff on cassette tapes.
Yeah, who didn't?
Back in the day. But Pepsi Peeps, I'd try it. I'd give it a shot. There's no way to buy it, though. You have to win it.
No, we have to try and win it. But if we win it, it'll be great. But these things are going to be on eBay now. Because I feel like these companies find more value in that, which I have a hard time believing.
Well, because they don't have to make it. It's a promotional thing. It's like doing a car giveaway, but you're giving away cans of Pepsi. It's like,
and it's the buzz, and they'll still go out and buy a regular Pepsi and regular Peeps, and and everything like that. But I don't know.
Exactly. How do you enter to win? You sign up on their website or something?
No, you got to tweet. So here's what you got to do. You win a 3-pack by entering a social media sweepstakes. You got to share a photo of how you're safely enjoying the spring weather with your favorite Peeps bunnies and chicks. Pictures must be posted to either Twitter or Instagram and should tag at Pepsi with the hashtag hanging with my peeps and hashtag Pepsi sweepstakes.
Seems like a lot of work.
Way too much work. Way too much work.
Yeah, I'm not. You know, like when I'm asked to take a photo of anything, that's already too much work. Now I got to get Peeps and Pepsi and set up some kind of weird outside I'm enjoying this safely bullshit.
Yeah.
I know.
Too much. It's too much.
Next contest. You know what? I'll just blend some Peeps and a Pepsi in a freaking blender. It's got to be similar at least.
You could just confirm it sucks that way without having to go through all the other steps.
Right. Maybe I could add a little smoked paprika while I'm at it.
Yeah. By the way, my uncles seem to have just that you have captured their, I don't know, their attention. They've been because they send me their dinners, like when they cook dinner, and like 3 out of the 4 meals this week was with smoked paprika.
Hey, if they want to send me some recipes, there was I don't remember her name, but there was one of our listeners posted in the comments, I think in the last video or the video before that.
Yeah.
There was a website of like top 10 recipes for use where the smoked paprika is the main ingredient.
Yeah.
And so thank you to that person. I don't have your name in front of me, but thank you for that. If your uncles have some recipes,
they did. They're on Twitter and Facebook and everywhere, Instagram.
No, for paprika,
yes,
paprika.
This week
Send them my way.
They did 2 or 3. They're on our Instagram, or the Facebook page. They're there. Go look at it. You could also search hashtag.
I gotta go get them. Are they like complicated?
I don't know. Search hashtag my uncle cooks. That's what I've been putting that hashtag on all of them. So you could just go my uncle cooks and hashtag and find it.
Here it is. I'm still relatively full.
They're not. In fact, the last one was a sheet pan recipe, which means you just put it on a sheet pan and slide it into the oven and cook it, and it's done. But here's the thing I want to let the listeners know, and also my uncles. Frank, trust me when I say,
detrimental to me.
No,
this is not going to come. I'm not coming out good in whatever you're about to say.
No, this is true, and the only reason why this would not be true is if you'd want to prove me wrong from here on out. But Frank is never going to cook anything with that smoked paprika. That will sit there and be unused for.
No, I have not. That's not true. I bought it
true.
so I could use it.
That is true.
I bought it so I could use it. And I have some stuff that I'm thinking about using it on. I have some chicken.
You've been saying potatoes. That for 2 weeks. By the way, when did you buy that smoked paprika? How old is that?
About 2 weeks old.
And don't just go microwave and pizza again and throw it on there and be like, oh, I used it in this recipe. That doesn't count. That doesn't count.
No, I'm going to cook. I'm going to start with raw ingredients and cook with it. I'm not just going to. Maybe I'll make some deviled eggs.
Believe me when I say don't waste your time sending Frank smoked paprika recipes. He is never going to use it. Never going to happen.
I encourage all our listeners to send me some recipes, their favorite recipes using smoked paprika.
I like to encourage people to waste their time too and laugh at how funny it is afterwards. But I'm just saying, it's never going to happen.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. It's gonna be delicious.
Never gonna happen.
And I'm gonna eat it on the air. Whatever I make with it,
Frank,
it's gonna be fantastic.
Frank will wear a MAGA hat before he eats a food item that he prepared with smoked paprika.
Frank will not wear. I was thinking. I the other day I made hamburgers.
Let me take that back. Hold on. Let me take that back. Frank will actively campaign for the 2024 Donald Trump re-election campaign before he cooks with paprika, smoked
Sure.
paprika.
I was making hamburgers the other day in a pan on the stove, and I mixed in a bunch of ingredients, and I questioned. I was that close. I was like, you know what? Should I use the smoked paprika? And I decided against it because it didn't fit with what I was doing. So I was like, you know what? Next time I make burgers, I could use smoked paprika. I wasn't sure if that was going to work, so I was fiddling around with it. It's going to happen. I'm that close. I just got to find the right inaugural dish to make it with. Shut up.
Ice Cube has a better chance in hell, believe me when I tell you. That's by the way, this is an opinion based on 30 some odd years of friendship. So you could take that to the bank.
You've never tried my cooking. You've never known me to be a cook.
Yeah, shouldn't
I've
that tell
only
people
recently
something?
started cooking.
30 years we know each other. I've never eaten anything you've cooked.
Yeah, but I've never really, I've only recently started taking up cooking. So this is a new thing, and this is part of it.
All right. I wish you luck. How's the sink thing, by the way? Is that still going, or
Still going strong.
all right?
Right now, it's got some soap, and it's got the drain plug in it.
And other soap things.
Soap, other soap things, sponges.
All right. This
Make sure you
has
get those sponges in there.
almost been 2 hours. We have got to go. It was a pleasure.
I'm gonna go cook some smoked paprika.
Appreciate you guys watching and are listening so much. Go get yourself some Hero Soap Company. Link in the description below. Thank them for being a proud sponsor. When you support them, you're supporting the show. Also, T-shirt sales have been going through the roof lately. Thank you guys so much. We could always use more, though.
Yes.
Please, when you buy a shirt, that goes so far to support the podcast. And honestly, if we sell 5 more shirts, Frank is going to get internet that doesn't require dial-up. So we're almost there. So please just go ahead and check out the store, shopanthonyonair.com, or just click the store link when you go to anthonyonair.com. And
My wife is always complaining she can't use the phone when I'm doing this show.
It's a problem. It's a problem because she runs one of them sex hotlines that you call, and
Right.
so it's really throwing business off.
It's out of commission for a couple hours. What am I supposed to do?
For no joke. No joke. Less filling is the highlight of this episode. All right, everybody, take